Hi, everyone. I just wanted to talk to you about my presentation that I had for Dr. Federico's class for my service leadership. I'm excited. We had a really great time presenting to the sophomore nursing students about health and nutrition and exercise and health promotion. So I was able to have a lunch and learn with them, and my Student Nurses Association joined me. I had our president, Ian Avis. He presented about exercise and shared his testimony on how he lost weight. Also, I had Sarah Kane, who is our SNA vice president, and she was able to video herself cooking a recipe at home and putting the ingredients together, kind of like a cooking show you'd watch on TV, and it was quite enjoyable. So she was able to join us via Zoom. So we had multiple media types in the classroom. Of course, the challenge was COVID-19. We had to separate the students. And everybody had to wear a mask and socially distance. And you'll see in the video that we had safety glass up where I had to stand behind to do the teaching. The sound quality was not the greatest because it was hard to project my voice with my mask on. So what I started the lunch and learn with the students, and I got to discuss the contents of the healthy lunch, and I brought them each a turkey sandwich, a banana, a baked Lay's product, and a bottle of water. And after I was done talking about the contents of the lunch and the nutritional value of each of the contents and the calories involved, Sarah then was able to do her recipe and video presentation. And Ian afterwards shared his story and about exercise and how he lost weight. And then we concluded. It took like about 40 minutes of the presentation, and the students, we received a lot of positive feedback from the students. And as you know, nursing students, and I'm sure other college students as well, are very stressed due to the rigor of college work. And a lot of times they put their self needs and care and health promotion behaviors on the back burner and concentrate on academics. And so I know with nursing that this poses a risk for obesity, and it's hard to educate patients on obesity if we're not taking care of ourselves. So it's very, very important for us to role model healthy behaviors and promotion of health. So I hope you enjoyed my little presentation, and I hope you have a great weekend.
Stressful it is. We have very hard curriculum here. And let me ask you guys a question. How many of you do you feel like you have time to exercise anymore? Or do you feel like you're studying all the time? With a show of hands, how many of you have time to exercise? Yeah, no, probably not much at all because you're busy studying, right? I've done a podcast, and I'll share some of that information with you here in a little bit. And it was on the RAC in Morgantown, West Virginia. Did you ever hear about the RAC? How many here have heard about the RAC? Oh, a lot of you have. So for those of you who have not heard about the RAC, it's for WVU students only, okay? And it's really nice because it's free food, right? And you guys can go there and pick up some healthy foods for yourself to have. And they love serving the students. Okay, so, I've been doing some research, and this is a common thing with nursing students. And as you have seen probably on the clinical units, right, you have seen maybe some nurses who you can tell have not kept up with health promotion. I know myself, being a nurse, when I became a nurse, I gained so much weight, okay? And I've lost some weight in the past few years, but I gained weight because I was working long hours, right? And the long hours didn't take lunch breaks. And I didn't take lunch breaks because there was nobody to cover for me on my shift. So what did I eat? Very fast and easy foods that were available. And what did the nurses usually bring in? Donuts, snacks, things like that. How many of you seen that on the course? Donuts, cookies, snacks. Okay, for the easy foods, you inhale it, you don't even take your time to eat it. You're going to take care of patients, right? So I'm trying to bring awareness to this situation so that you're our future, right? I want to see you guys developing good habits and making sure that you're taking care of yourself, you're getting sleep, that you're eating, and that you are getting some exercise, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit more about this. And I have Ian is going to do some presenting here today, and I also have Sarah on Zoom. She's going to be presenting here too. All right, so the purpose is because we know there are barriers for you guys with health promotion. Maybe it's lack of time, transportation, or lack of money. And there's research by Breyer et al. 2013. I encourage you guys to read that. And you might read that and say, wow, this describes a lot of things that I'm going through right now. Okay? So some objectives that I have is to educate you guys about available nutritional options. And Sarah's going to talk to you about that here in a little bit. While you're in nursing school, to improve your health regardless of these barriers. And I want to talk to you guys about available physical activity. And Ian's going to go over physical activity with you here a little bit. And it's recommended by the World Health Organization that people engage in 150 minutes per week of moderate physical activity to maintain healthy weight. Okay? It's like 30 minutes a day for 5 days. So it's not too bad. So what did I bring for you guys today in the bag of lunch? I got you a turkey sandwich. Okay? Is that who y'all like turkey? With a slice of provolone cheese. And I looked up these averages online. And an average turkey sandwich has 350 calories. My turkey sandwich that I made you today is 270 calories, so it's even less, okay? So 45 grams of carbs, 4 grams of dietary fiber, 8 grams of sugar, 28.5 grams of protein. So you have a banana in there, and that's about 105 calories. 22.8 grams of carbs, 0.3 grams of fat, 1.1 grams of protein, and 2.6 grams of fiber. So you have a bag of baked Lay's. Now, they'll either be regular chips, cheddar and sour cream, Cheetos, or popcorn, and they're no more than 120 calories. So I put the highest number there, some of them are less. All right, so you get 23 grams of carbs, 2 grams of dietary fiber, 2 grams of sugar, 2 grams of protein, and a bottle of water, okay? So your total calories in this bag lunch today is 575 calories. And just think about this. How many here, I love Big Macs, okay? So I'm guilty. I haven't had one in a long time. How many like Big Macs or McDonald's? Yeah. 575 calories just for one sandwich, okay? So you're getting a lot more bang for your calorie buck, right? So, just remember that. So, if you go on MyPlate.gov, how many of you have ever gone on that before? Where you learn portions and all that. So, for breads, 6 ounces per day, and that's equal to like 1 slice of bread. So you got 2 slices of bread, and we'll say a bag of the Lay's product is another one. So you'd be allowed to have like probably 3 more ounces. Your portion of protein is 5.5 ounces per day. And you have about maybe 2 ounces of protein on that sandwich. And your fruit, you have 1 fruit, okay? So you can look at your portions and figure out how much you can have. Now, if you exercise, you burn off those calories, you can probably add calories to that. All right, so here's my references. And now I'm going to turn it over to Sarah, and she's going to talk to you about healthy meal prep. So Sarah, I need to give you co-host privileges.
Sorry that I'm not here in person as I would have liked and as our teachers do. But hi, if you don't know me already, I'm Sarah. I'm the SNA Vice President. I get to do a lot of cool stuff with Christy. And I'm really excited to talk to you guys today. So I'm going to try to pull up my PowerPoint. Hopefully it works. Oh yeah, I actually did it right this time. So hopefully I apologize in advance if I go over anything that Christy already said and if I'm redundant because I couldn't hear anything that you guys already talked about just because of Zoom right now. So I'm just talking a little bit about some healthy habits and for eating specifically in nursing school. So, starting off, your own personal health is really important in nursing school, specifically a rigorous program like this one. Um, we have to be healthy ourselves to care for others, and this is going to be important in your career later on. Also, I'm not yet in my own career. I'm a senior nursing student, but I know this is going to be important for myself later. So you're starting to see this now, I'm sure, that there are long days and nights where you're gonna have difficulty trying to find the capacity to make that good healthy decision. You're going to be like, okay, well, can I go through the drive through, or am I going to have time to cook a good meal? um, it takes a lot of energy out of you to pre-plan. It's going to be a lot of time sitting on your couch or in your desk, trying to find the right interventions for your patient. So um, it's a lot of adaptation. So that's why we're trying to help you guys out. It's a great time, I think, personally, to talk to you guys and try to help you learn some good ways and good habits to help you manage the whole new kind of way of college because it's a little different than other programs, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people will agree with me. So, these are some things that I think most people who are in this program will agree with me about that'll help you to have a healthier eating habits, healthier lifestyle while you're nursing. So I always say, and Christy always says, eat before clinical, eat before sim lab, eat before you go to your lectures. Breakfast is important no matter what. Um, Christy can tell you tons of horror stories of students passing out, people getting low blood sugar, getting sick. It is so important to get that good base in your stomach. You see some stuff that might make you sick. I'm sure we could all tell you stories about that. So it's very important. You have to get that good, healthy stuff in your belly before you go. I think it's really important that you have good pre-packaged or pre-portioned snacks for yourself before you get working. So I think this kind of prevents that never-ending bag of chips that you keep grabbing at whenever you're studying or working. Like, for instance, I can remember my freshman year just sitting on my couch, not my freshman year, my sophomore year, beginning, first time pre-planning, sitting on my couch in my apartment. And I would start just kind of going through my nursing diagnosis book, trying to figure it out. And I had my one hand in my book and my other hand in a bag of Lay's and just kept pulling out those Lay's. So if I had one smaller bag of maybe like a grapes, like a little bag of grapes that I already pre-portioned out, or a little bag of Lay's, even if I wanted Lay's, that helps you keep your portion size consistent. So you're not going overboard and you're keeping your calories in a good portion size. Also, limiting fast foods to a treat portion. So, like, okay, so I know this is hard for a lot of people, especially because you're in HSC a lot, but Chick-fil-A is right there. That's the big one for me. I always want to go to Chick-fil-A. Everybody's like, oh, let's go to Chick-fil-A, especially whenever you're there more often. I know it's a little different right now because we're not in person that often, but maybe make it more of a, oh, I'm only going to go to Chick-fil-A once every 2 weeks or once a week if that's harder for you, or maybe once a month if you're really, really dedicated to that. Also, just remembering that sugary drinks add up calories, especially that large sweet tea. Those are like, it's gonna be like almost 300 calories. It's a big thing. Also, meal prepping for your long shifts, or if you're working, or your long nights and weeks that you're really busy on. I think those are really important. So there's a lot of good methods and tactics that you can use to help you track and keep in like mind what you're eating and what you're putting in your body. So MyFitnessPal is one that I always recommend to people. It's really helpful. You know, you can just keep track of your calories. If there's different goals you can have, if you need to gain weight for some reason, if you're trying to lose weight or just maintain weight, it's really good to keep mindful of what kind of things you're putting in your body. You can even look at your macronutrients so you can see how much protein or carbs, fats, those kind of things. My plate, I know Christy touched on this already. You can kind of see what kinds of servings of different things you need to have. So like your fruits and your vegetables, your grains, proteins. I know we definitely, I mean, for myself personally, I never get enough fruits and vegetables. And you might think you're getting a lot more than you actually are. So really going to be mindful of that. If you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit, also they both those applications come with a component that helps you track your meals and your calories, and will help you see how you can adjust your calorie count based on how much exercise you've done. So you might earn some more calories for your how much you have set for yourself based on how much exercise you've done for the day. So other than that, if you don't know about the rack already, I think Christy's already done some education for you guys about this. I don't know if you heard her cool podcast that she did. Talking to the people at the rack, but it's a campus-based food pantry. It's for students specifically, so it's for us. No matter who you are or your financial background, you can go to the rack and pick up whatever you need. You can even just stop in for a snack, like if you want a Pop-Tart or whatever you want or need. There's a location at the Lair. They usually have a location at Arnold, but it's currently closed. Everybody knows what's going on there for COVID. There's also a location at HSC, but it's the rack 2. It's not currently associated with the rack, but they're actually looking to maybe get partnered up with them sometime in the future, which would be really cool. But you can also stop at the other rack, the rack 2. And yeah, like I said, there's no requirements to use their services at all. You can just walk right in. I'm going to talk a little bit about that whenever I share my videos. So the thing that I have here today is here's myself making a recipe. I cooked up some chicken pesto pasta, and I just wanted to share a healthy recipe, and it's long. I hope it's not terribly long. It's probably about 15 minutes long. This is a healthy recipe. It's about 500 calories per serving. That you could easily cook up for yourself. I wanted to do something that you could easily cook up in your apartment or dorm if you have a kitchen, just to teach you guys an easy recipe. It didn't take me that long, 15 minutes, really, and that's not counting boiling the pasta, but that's also pretty easy if you have pre-boiled pasta. I also wanted to highlight you could pick up these ingredients at the rack, or they're also pretty inexpensive ingredients. So I'm just gonna play the video and you can enjoy my awkwardness. So. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Lunch and Learn today. I'm Sarah Kane, our SNA Vice President, and today I have the task of teaching you guys a healthy and easy recipe that you guys could make at home, at your apartment, or if you have if you're still in a dorm, if you have a kitchen. So I thought that I would come up with a recipe that I like to cook and that you could use some ingredients that you could pick up that are inexpensive, or you can even go to the rack and get. So my recipe today is pesto chicken pasta. So I already boiled some penne noodles and they're all right here. So I have them in my pot. And then I also have this little jar of pesto, and it's from Barilla, so it's non-perishable. You can keep it in your cabinet. My cabinet is open, sorry about that. And I have some Parmesan cheese that you keep in the fridge or the cabinet, depending on when you open it. Just some seasonings for my chicken. And all of those over there. Some pan spray for my pan. And I have a slice of chicken breast. Actually, I think 2 slices of chicken breast, but they're thin cut chicken cutlets. So I picked those up at Kroger and they were pretty inexpensive. So if you don't know a lot about the rack, usually they do have a part of their pantry down at Arnold Hall that does non-perishable food items, but unfortunately right now due to the pandemic, we know that everybody who does end up with COVID has the option of going to stay at Arnold if they do so choose to. So they don't have that right now, but still, if you don't know already, no matter who you are, or what your financial status is, you can go to the rack and pick up any kind of food you might need. So let's get started. I am ready to take my chicken and I'm going to season it up. So I'm going to throw it in my pan, and it might be hot already just because of I boiled my pasta over the same burner, and I often have that happen or it won't cool down. So I'm going to take my salt. And the great thing about seasoning, they give you lots of flavor without the calories. So we can teach our patients. I'm sure you guys know this too. Obviously, for someone who's got hypertension or anything like that, we want to tell them to ease off the salt. So maybe offer them something that's like a low salt seasoning. So maybe onion powder. So obviously, you can check and see if it's sodium free. So this one doesn't have any. Those can be a good option for someone who's hypertensive or has anything, any condition like that might raise their sodium and cause them to have any kind of condition. What am I looking for? Sorry, I'm gonna ramble. I like garlic salt, and apparently it was in my lid. It just went flying. This is my first time doing a cooking show. I'm having fun. Garlic salt. Just season it up because you want it to be flavorful. And I know it would taste, I mean, we all love the taste of fried chicken. Most people, I think, do like the taste of fried chicken. But I don't have all the calories for that whenever I'm tracking my calories and trying to stay healthy. So I think it's better just to season. So I'm gonna set this down here, prevent my cross-contamination throughout my kitchen, because we all know chicken can get gross. Sorry, I'm rambling. Salt. What am I missing? Onion powder. Really like onion powder. And I probably should try my burner on. I'm not used to cooking with electric. I'm from a home that always used gas. So I've recently moved here and I'm not used to it yet. So hopefully I don't burn anything. I don't think I will, but I'll try my best not to. So I think this is great that you guys come today, especially because you guys are sophomores, and whenever I was a sophomore, it was my first time living on my own completely. Actually, I didn't have any roommates, and I came to live here where I am now, and I had to cook for myself for the first time. It was scary because I'm like, well, what do I do? And I found myself having to learn how to be an adult for real and cook and be healthy. And it was hard for me. I'm like, well, do I go to Chipotle every day? And that doesn't work for me financially. So I learned how to coupon and go to Kroger, and how to not buy things that I wasn't going to eat. So my chicken's starting to sizzle, and I'm going to keep an eye on it. The biggest thing for your chicken, you want it to be cooked thoroughly, no salmonella. And yeah, you can't have any pink chicken. I'm sure you know this. It smells really good because of all the seasonings I put on it. I'm just gonna let it go until it's cooked. I didn't want to have you sit through my boiling water, so I thought I could let you sit through my chicken cooking. Unfortunately, hopefully it doesn't take too long. Also, Kroger is really awesome with everything. They have allowed the SNA to team up with us with Kroger, and if you can link your Kroger card, if you have one, they will give you, every time you shop at Kroger, they will give some of the proceeds of your bill towards SNA. So it will help our organization on campus, and you'll still get your groceries and your discount from having a Kroger card, which is very nice. If you have one, you know this. You get your gas mileage, or not your gas mileage, you get your gas money off, and you get your, your money off your yogurt, your money off of everything. So I picked thin sliced chicken cutlets here, so that will make them cook quicker. It'll help them be nice and thin whenever I cut them up. So my plan is that I'm gonna cut these chicken cutlets up and I'm gonna throw them and mix them up with my pesto. So a little more about this meal. So pesto, it's if you never had it before, it's a cool thing. It makes your pasta green. Obviously, it's got this. It's like a cheesy, a little bit of Parmesan cheese in it. It's got some basil, some other herbs in it. It's very tasty. It's an Italian kind of thing, and pine nuts is one of the biggest components. So if you don't have, if you have a nut allergy, maybe you shouldn't have some. But it can be high in calorie if you go crazy with it. But if not, of course, anything in moderation you're fine with. But for a quarter cup, it's only 200 calories. And then for your one serving of pasta, which is a cup, you get 200 calories. So that's only 400 calories, and you add your chicken in. You got a really great meal. So personally, I choose MyFitnessPal. We keep track of my calories that I have for the day. It helps me stay on track, especially whenever I'm having really busy days and trying not to snack and all of that. So, almost done with the chicken. Did not think it would take this long. So, alrighty. I think this is about done. I see that my chicken is not pink in the middle. My thickest piece. So I'm safe to take it off the heat. And I'm gonna throw this this dirty plate away. Grab a new one. Grab a knife. Take this little piece off. Let this simmer for a little bit. Let it cook just a bit, and grab a fork. I'm going to cut this up in little pieces. You kind of want to go with the grain, makes it easier. And they're nice and white, there's no pink in them. I just like to chop my pieces up so that there's little pieces up. I'm going to mix it in with my pasta and my pesto so that there's like a little piece of chicken with every bite. So there's that piece. And then this one from there.
Okay,
It's really great.
just gonna jump ahead right there. I'm cutting chicken.
But it's just nice for it's doesn't take a long time. If you just boil your water in advance, or you have pasta left over from different times, because these pasta, like, they come in a 1 pound box usually. So it's I don't usually eat 1 pound of pasta or one serving, or if I have my sister over, both of us obviously don't eat 1 pound of pasta at a time. So I will take that pasta that's left over. I'll either keep it in a box and don't boil it all, or I will just boil it and keep it in a plastic baggie and wait for another night in the week to have it. And that saves us a lot of time. So.
All right, cut the chicken up.
And it's good to just keep have an idea about how much you have.
Now I'm just adding pesto. Sorry, trying to cut ahead.
So that doesn't. So far, I'll show you how it looks. Not much, so I need a little bit more so far. I think I'll probably end up having 4 tablespoons or so. And then you can always add more if you want. But just for health reasons, I want to make sure I keep it in moderation. This is another tablespoon. And you can always put this in the fridge after you're done and keep it for later. Some people like to dip their bread in it if you have good bread. Yep, that's looking better. Add 1 more tablespoon, and I think 4 is gonna be perfect. Keep stirring. And I'll probably put this on heat just to heat it back up, since I cooked my pasta a little earlier, and this pesto is kind of cold since it was in the cabinet. Okay, and 1 more tablespoon. Sorry, I'm trying to channel my inner Rachel Ray, but I've not really had much experience with this, so you get what you get. So now you can see that my pasta looks pretty green and it looks tasty. Sorry, hopefully you can see that. And I can add in my chicken. And my slices that I put in there. That's high in protein. And protein's super important. Also, we got our penne, which is high in fiber. Wow, did that fall on the floor? I hope not. Okay. You can really tell that I'm a beginner, can't you? You know what? I love to cook. I'm just not used to doing it on the camera. It's really important, guys. School is hard. I mean, I'm a senior and I'm still struggling. I mean, not to say that not every day is a struggle, guys. We're all doing our thing, finding out what works for us, and you gotta take care of yourself. And I say that no matter what situation you're in, no matter what program you're in, it's so important to find time to nourish your body, to study, but then to exercise, to eat well, to find out what moves you and makes you feel better. And I think that's so important. Stir that in. And yeah, because it is hard. If you don't take care of yourself, you're just going to get run down. It's going to be so much harder to give your all to your patients if you're not at your 100%. And I think that's so important. So it's going to take time to give yourself a good meal. You know, call your parents, call your friends. You have to find the balance, and I'm sure you guys will be awesome. But yeah, start with the meal. Start with a healthy meal. Start with something that nourishes your body, not McDonald's. Sometimes McDonald's is okay, though, obviously. I'm not going to sit here up on a soapbox and say that I haven't gone and got a Big Mac after a terrible day. So there you have it, my pesto chicken, and I like to serve it with a little Parmesan cheese on top. So there's my Parmesan, my baby Parmesan from Kroger. And other than that, that's all for this meal, and it's super tasty. I wish I could bring it in for you guys to try. Unfortunately, COVID would not allow that, but any other day I definitely would. And other than that, for a quick and easy breakfast, that would be great for fiber. And also you could pick, I'm sure you could pick these up at the rack, just because I know that they have non-perishable items. Oatmeal, super delicious, super high in fiber, great for your gut health, great for everything, in my opinion. You can make this with water, and then also if you didn't want it to be made with water, if you can't go to the grocery store, you can always get evaporated milk. Evaporated milk is just like regular milk. It is a little higher in calories. For half a cup, it's 150 calories, but you can make that and then add it with some either canned fruit, some kind of maybe syrup if you really wanted to. That would be a little higher in calories, but I love my oatmeal. It's super quick. All you do is boil the oats with a little bit of water or milk or sugar, and you just get them to a simmer, stir them up. They come to a just like this nice consistency. And then you serve them with whatever you want. It's only 5 minutes, and I love them. So just a good back breakfast. So thanks so much for your time. I hope you guys try out my meal. Let me know if you like it. Also, I would probably season it with a little more garlic salt afterwards. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
All right. Oh, don't start again. Okay. Thank you guys for listening. I'm sorry if it was super long. I apologize if you guys are bored.
Sweet, simple, kind of give you guys what worked for me. So when I started out in college, I was 250 pounds. I was a lineman in high school, looking to go D1, D2, so I just kept on the weight, and I was like, this is good for me. This is my healthy weight. It's all muscle, right? Can't see it, but it's under there somewhere. So I get into my sophomore year of nursing school, right? I'm doing pre-plans, I'm stressed, I don't have time to hit the gym. But it's still all muscle. I'm sitting down eating a Pizza Al's pizza twice a week while I'm pre-planning. Eating the whole thing, not every night, but over the course of a week. It's a lot of calories. That's a lot of pizza, a lot of carbs, no protein. And I'm still not hitting the gym. By the time sophomore year is almost to a close, my spring break, I am almost 280 pounds. I've packed on 30 pounds in 2 years of college, specifically my sophomore year. I go to my little brother's performance. My mom lines us up in like the Titanic prom pose to this, right? And she goes, it's small, medium, large. Or should I say small, large, medium? I've gone from the intermediate to the largest by a long shot. My old man, who had always outweighed me, was 50 to 60 pounds below what I was. And I'm 6 inches shorter than him. At which point I'm looking at pictures going, this isn't the guy I want to be. So what I do, I started hitting the gym. Every day, I have something that I do. I wake up in the morning, 25 push-ups. I go to bed at night, before I hop in the sheets, 25 push-ups. Some people prefer squats. All of us, dream of, that body that we see of these Instagram models, these influencers, no matter where we go. That's how that's accomplished. You may never look like that. I can't give 8 hours in the gym a week and do nursing school. It's just not possible. So you look for these little things that you want to improve on, and that's what you can focus on. 25 push-ups takes like 2 minutes for a beginner. Squats take a little bit more time, especially for me because I got bad knees. But from the spring break of my sophomore year to today, I've lost almost 60 whole pounds in nursing school just from doing this. They talk about MyFitnessPal and the fitness trackers. I got myself an Apple Watch, which granted is a huge investment. If you guys can't afford one, Fitbit Versa is $50. Still a bunch of money, but it helps. Because it tells me, get up, move, you burnt this, you've eaten this, make up the deficit. I use, of course, MyFitnessPal. I log everything that goes in my mouth, even if it's 0 calories, because I track my sodium, I track my carbs, I track it all. It becomes difficult. You go out with your friends and you go eat at, the brewing company, or you go to Pies and Pints. I've asked them before for the little nutrition sheets, and I take it home. What I have that night, I enter it myself. Because it's become that obsession. And I'm not saying you have to be obsessed with it. For me, what's really worked is, who all here has Snapchat? Every hand in the room raises, right? If you go to Snapchat, Men's Health, which is good for both, they do female celebrities and male celebrities, so it works for everybody. They do Train Like a Celebrity. Who's seen This Is Us? Right? I can't think of the actor's name. It's the black guy who runs all the time. I can't think of it. Just crazy in shape. One of his that has stuck with me since then takes me about 20 minutes. And it's 50 jumping jacks, 40 squats, 30 push-ups, 20 crunches, and 10 burpees. Does everybody know what a burpee is? We've all seen it, and we've all heard how much it sucks, because it does suck. 3 sets of those, continuous, takes me about 20 minutes. At the end of that 20 minutes, which granted, I am guilty of doing trash bag sweating, which I do not recommend for anybody. I've burnt all the way up to 400 calories in a single 20-minute workout. because it's the HIIT, the high intensity interval training. You get your heart rate up, you keep it there, and it's good. Something as simple as a walk to de-stress, that helps. Because I know we're all probably guilty, especially me. Nowadays, when we get done with an assignment or we need a break from nursing class, we hop on TikTok, right? Hop on Instagram. But seriously, I'm bad about TikTok. Super bad. I lose like whole hours, and I'm like, man, I should have started that assignment like 3 ago. So, do that, but hit a wall. Morgantown is great about the hills, the walking spaces, the sidewalks, the green spaces. You guys are downtown. Maybe not the rail trail because it's been a little iffy here lately, but just walk down to like the CVS on High Street and then back to, what is it, U Park, U Place, whatever is on that side of campus, right? I lived in Pierpont for my sophomore and junior year. I'd get up from my computer, I'd turn on music or podcast. I'm huge about Barstool Sports podcasts. We all know which ones I'm talking about. And I've listened to it and walked to the other side of Evansdale back. That was my decompression. You guys have to take care of this and this because I promise you, they're linked. Also, if you guys are huge into like yoga, you want to be more mindful, get everything right, beginning of the morning. Not a huge chakra person myself, but yoga helps. I use Sensei Tim. If you go to YouTube, he's got a 30-day intermediate challenge. My roommates and I have been doing that, and it's great. My shoulders are stronger, my core is stronger, I feel more confident. I feel like my midline is like a little bit tighter, especially like love handles, which I'm bad about. Like country home cooking where I come from, like it just packs on, It's all the lard and biscuits. If you guys are more gym membership people, right? So do you guys drive? Anybody here not have a car? You? But where do you live? Pierpont? Yeah, so they have a fitness center downstairs. If you drive and you need somewhere cheap, right? There's not one in your housing development. I use Planet Fitness. It's $10 a month. It's still money out of your pocket. I get, stuff is tight, but if that's something you want to strive for, you want to have, this look, or you want to be more physically fit in nursing school, stuff like that, great resource, because you can always try and find the time. I know it's not a priority. I know, who's competitive here? Every hand shoots up, right? We're nursing students. We want to be better than the doctors, the pharmacists. We know it all. That's why we struggle so much and still pay out of pocket for it, right? This goes into that competitive nature. If you guys got Apple Watches, which I'm seeing a bunch of out here, send me an invite. I'll compete with you. You crank out a workout, I promise you, I'm gonna do double that. And then I wanna see you return the favor. Have your friends join in, keep them to it, keep yourself to it, put the feet to the fire, keep going. I listened to a podcast by Joe Rogan, and this one's more for inspiration. In one episode, he said, treat every day like there's a documentary team following you. And I want you guys to kind of take that with you, is because when it comes to the physical fitness, to taking care of yourself, to how you perform in nursing school, right? I know it's asking a lot of all of us, but there's always that drive, right? That I want to go further. So act like that documentary team's following you. But you guys have any questions? All right, cool.